Ah,
What should I play? Engineer?
you play engineer in your real life as well. There's nothing
It
in
ain't a gun if it don't weigh at least 100 pounds.
your platform.
Oh yeah, I got the new move.
Oh,
Tunnel Rat. Reduced fall damage.
yeah, I need that. Give me 2 glasses or 3 on 3.
Some rats from the tabloid.
Alright. Ah,
Oh,
yes.
Cheers, Mike.
Let's go.
Oh yes, again, new one. Which assignment?
I have no clue.
are there new assignments?
I've had enough assignments at school.
Relics of Hoxes is the new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've started it.
Performance
Old gold
points,
excavation.
credits, crafting minerals.
Let's go.
Get on board! We're about to leave!
Okay, who didn't shower yesterday? Rock and stone, brother.
Alpha here has got similar mustache. I closed the village.
Oh, Resinite masses. I think new mission.
Ah,
Maybe that's why it's taking so long to load.
man.
Why is
Data
mine
cache
loading slow?
pre-compilation.
Why so slow?
Can we go back? Please!
Pickaxes sharp, it's excavation time. Sniff out the Resnite masses, pick them out, and stick some rockets on them. You know the drill.
This one looks different.
Oh, nitro.
Oi! Climb! Climb! Who's getting it? Where are we supposed to
Lighting up!
go? Up what?
Reloading!
Come here.
If only Deep Rock would invest in some pesticide.
This is becoming routine.
There is another way there.
Hey. Oh shit. Can't go from here.
Yeah, I'm exploring the other direction.
Too many boats.
Bismore.
Oi, 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 help me. Hi, oi.
Oh, what's happening?
New monster.
Pickaxe is ready, miners. First mass located. Clear the surrounding terrain and we can begin prepping it for launch.
Oh yeah, what is the objective? Masses. Okay, I'll come back to you. Let's do it together.
They said dig it and put a rocket on them. I don't know what it means.
Eh. Oh. Easy. Fuel skyrocketing these days. Better to get that stuff.
Excavation progress is already 31%. How did we do that?
I don't know. I guess we should have read the release.
Lead down.
What the heck is this?
You fuck down.
Is this? Oh. Oh. How? What? Are we supposed to do here?
Not even Molly can carry a load like that. I call it
What are you
Yeah,
saying?
we have.
Excavation team,
No,
keep
it's
up the
right.
good
We
work.
have to clear the mud.
Oh.
Sending down lift rockets.
Wait, let's break this one. We have to build it on all sides, yeah? But how?
There is
Right.
a drop here.
after this. Longest shower
Lift
ever.
rockets have arrived.
Pick up.
Grab them off the lift pod
Where?
and attach them to the side
What?
of the resonite mass.
Lift rockets have arrived. Grab them off the lift pod and attach them to the side.
Okay,
Oh.
do it. Please, do it fast.
No, you.
Yeah.
Are you trying to break my stream? Also no audio because I'm okay.
Fine.
Secure.
What? Huh?
Random guy __ is in my chat.
Oi. Oi. What are you doing over there?
What?
Did we get all?
Where is the fourth one?
No idea. I just got one.
Same.
Did someone drop it somewhere?
I have
Lights
no
up!
idea. Attach. Oh, no attach option.
On ready.
Strange. Wait.
There were 4. Where is the fourth?
Yeah.
Did I? Yeah. Are there 2 over here?
Did all of us just like collect one from the?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then what happened to the phone?
There are 2 here. Someone dropped one.
Where?
Found it. Found it. Found it.
Nice.
Lift rockets are reading green. Hit the button on the pod to initiate launch.
Which pod?
I don't think I should be on top.
I think I should. Let me
I
see.
think the person with the jet boots and grappling
Initiated.
hook.
Let's see.
Need
Oh,
3
oh,
more down there. Happy digging.
oi.
Thanks for the check-in. Go.
Oi.
Oh my god. Let me.
I think we are gonna die.
I'm getting off.
Hey.
Bye bye.
They have added rocket damage.
Thanks for the check-in, Kyle. Oh, what
I'm
happened? Okay.
But I'm gonna die. Kill me, fool. They've added
fool for
damage
you.
from the rocket.
We had a shield and-
Exhaust.
Oh, thanks for letting me know.
But give me sugar. Eh? What?
Where did everyone go?
Move forward.
Okay.
There's something. What is that symbol? The metal.
Has it changed now? I think I changed the category.
Where's the next one? Does it show now?
I was born ready.
Move your tin ass over here and hurry, please. Like that.
Wait.
Thanks for letting me know. What is this? Magnite.
Where's the... Yeah. Let's get
Halfway
digging.
done. Stay on schedule.
I'm collecting gold.
I am done.
The resonite mass is freed. Await lift rockets. Lift rockets delivery complete. Set up the lift rockets on the resonant mass and proceed to launch.
Okay, I'm coming back. Of course I got you, gang. Thank you. Did you rest well after? You only had like 2 hours to sleep before work.
Laser drill is primed. Rocket ratings are green. Push the button on the lift pod to begin launch. Only 2 resonant masses remaining now. Keep those pickaxes sharp. Incoming. Smoke him if you got him.
Oh,
Brace, brace. Swarm detected.
What did you pick there?
Swarm is upon you.
Gosh, so many.
wait, wait. Help, help,
Oh!
help. Ah,
There's so many enemies.
it's awesome.
Incoming. Take care of what is left. Then have a breather.
What's the gas?
I actually overslept, so I didn't go to. I hope you didn't get into any
Something
trouble.
Oh, we've been here.
Why are you shooting at me?
The way was petering out. Wipe out the rest and get on with it.
Your history.
Gosh, what? Oh, something caught me.
Caught me.
Yeah,
Your fire does more damage
What is that?
than the enemy.
New guy.
where the heck are they waiting for?
Get your red sugar here.
Yeah,
Mark!
Red sugar there.
I'm gonna make it up. There's nothing over here.
I think I'll be fine. I called my supervisor and he's fine with it. I'll have to work a little tomorrow morning though. Okay. Yeah, but be careful with your sleep timings.
Where did
I
we
must have
come
been
from? Where
tired. I
are we
haven't
going?
overslept. Yeah.
That's a good question.
And I mean, it happens to me too. Like, if I sleep very short duration, like 1.5 to 2 hours before work, then it's very difficult to wake up. I have to set like 3 or 4 alarms just to be sure I wake up, because I always snooze the first
Oi.
couple.
Where do we go from here? I think it's best to go back.
Yeah, there was a path. Yeah, there's something below here too. This way, I think. There are some tunnels this way too. Wait. Oh, that's where we landed, right?
That's where
No.
we
No, that's
delivered one of the roads.
no, look below
This is-
me. There's tunnels here.
Oh, we
Hello,
can
green.
come here where this.
I think we can go down there.
There's an arrow hovering in the air. Yep.
Find the nitra for ammo.
This
How
thing.
did sticky sap get so hard?
There's resonite mass here.
I shot a fester. Another fester piece.
Wait,
Same, I have an army of alarms. Yeah.
Dig site! Help me dig!
yeah. Where is it?
Dig site.
Wait, how do I get?
You're making good progress.
At least 20. I only said like 10 last. Oh my god. Oh, I was about to fall off.
Resonite mass fully excavated. Nice work. Stand by. Lift rockets are en route.
I don't have 20, but I do have like 4 or 5.
Have been delivered. Attach them to the resonite mass and get ready to launch.
Out of ammo!
Out of ammo, oh my god.
Oh,
Wasting ammo like
Sure.
Supply pod launched. Better stand back.
Okay, up here.
Hey,
What happened?
Molly's pushing the cheat.
Ready to kill some more crates. Molly,
Oh, who is?
Why are you
grabbing ammo.
What?
Well done, miners. The mass is ready to head off-world. Hit the button on the lift pod to begin launch. You're making excellent
Ah,
progress,
ah,
miners. Just one
ah.
What happened?
prepare to fight for your life. A big swarm is approaching.
I'm not the enemy. Lighting up.
Pester.
I think last one is back,
It's a big one, team.
like where we first landed. There was another path to go.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I think.
Watch it.
Keep digging, team. You're halfway there. Restoration phase complete. Excellent work. Stand by for lift rocket delivery.
Heat is down.
Lift pods here, team. Grab the lift rockets. Secure them to the sides of the resonite mass. The wave is significantly diminished. Well done, team.
Out of my way.
Watch it.
Oi.
Resonite mass ready for launch. Hit the button on the lift pod to fire it up.
Launch it.
All resonite masses are en route to base. Hit the
Wait,
button
then what was there
send in the return pod.
the other way from the launch pod? And
Yeah,
what's
good
down
question.
there?
You are a very good fish.
Oh my god. Septic spreader.
This looks like a
Banana can.
potential pay raise.
Pester. Ah!
Can we extract this fossilized bone like a core stone or something?
Wonder what
Why not we? Throw
way your massive explosive
it. Aha.
Try going down. How do we go down it? What's
We
my-
have a spider. Oi, what up?
I just
grab?
Nothing there.
be gone.
There's nothing.
It's just bones. It's just bones, guys. Come on.
When I pinged it first time, it said this looks like a potential pay raise or something. So I thought maybe we can do something there.
I lose sight every time I have to take out a
Scam.
Oh my god, I got caught.
No way.
2 Fester please are left.
Where do we come from? Where do we go? Hey, same bad guy is not coming. Go back, let's go.
You lack wit, cave brain. I'm on your side.
Oh, we're back. Oh my god. You can
Ah.
use the zip line to go back up.
Why are we going back up?
Isn't that the way we came?
But we are done with it, right? So we can just call the rock wall.
Better to go a bit higher and then
I
fall.
was thinking we could check what was on the other side, but where is? Oh, it's way up there.
You're hacking to the simple.
Do we want to just exit, or do you want to check out what was on the other side?
Way.
And fine. Let's go.
I think we need to go a long way back to the spot where we.
We need to dig here.
Should I call?
I'm going back to the start. Oh, faster play.
Fester stopped fleeing.
What is that? What is that?
I don't mind this one being on my side.
Board.
There's something glowing there. Is that a light thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah,
Banana kins.
oh, faster
Light.
play.
Secondary objective complete.
Nice.
Take it home to collect your bonus.
Wait, which way did we come from?
Over here by the marker point.
Yeah.
Let's call it.
Swarm
and see
incoming.
where it
Get through it
goes.
fast. We're on a tight schedule here.
I am going to try going back to the start.
Drop pod is coming up here.
Swarm, they're
This
here.
side.
Did I just backtrack?
Drop pod has arrived. Retrieving the mule. Drop pod departing in T-minus 5 minutes.
After digging up from wait.
How do we get there? Mine is
Just
so
follow
weird.
the mule.
Spread it down. Stay clear of the spillage.
Mule is cool.
It's there.
So many enemies.
Keep in mind. There is the marker.
We're almost through the wave, team. Go, go.
Go.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 4 minutes.
It is.
I didn't get damage.
Box. Retrieving escape pod.
None can stand rocket stone.
What's the status of the match?
Great team effort.
Match. 9-3.
Job done.
Who's nine?
Fanatic.
9-3 goals. Beep, beep, beep.
Beep.
Easy.
Well done. R&D is eager to sink its teeth into these fossils, and management appreciates the new revenue
Next.
stream.
We're
They changed
Before you
these
even ask,
containers.
no, it's not submerged in alcohol, and no, you can't drink it.
fighting. Management keeps storing.
Mission selected. Your chariot
Order,
awaits you.
order,
Move out.
order.
No,
Crab
those sample
nesting
containers are
grounds,
not
volatile
installed for your
guts.
pleasure. They're awaiting transport to R&D.
Increased
and are
pickaxe
not to be
damage.
disturbed. You know, you're not being paid by the hour. Get to work.
Skull Crusher Ale. Let's go.
Lab sequence initiating.
Last one to rock and stone pays for the
Last one to
Pays
rock.
for the what? Last one to rock and stone. Pays for the and then it got cut.
Yeah. On-site refining volatile guts, crab nesting grounds. On-site refining is the
Damn it.
one where you need to do the roller coasters, right?
Liquid morphite is pipe.
Yeah. Setting down the pipe is the difficult part to look.
Crazy spawn location, guys. Okay.
I found a liquid morkite well. There's a well here.
It has hit line to get
We've
out.
set our targets on 7
Extract distrum.
liquid mortar.
Distrum, that is
Cargo
In the
crate,
refinery
cargo
for you to
crate.
fill. Set the
how
whole
to
thing
extract
up,
distrum.
cranking, and let's pump those
No
deposits
idea.
dry.
Glyphid blood nexus. Wow, it's huge.
Should we destroy that?
Hey, batteries.
Send the pump jack, please.
Jack launched. Stay clear from the impact zone. Pump jack requested and is inbound.
One pump jack.
Let's get the pump jack connected.
They should have. Get up. Oops. Display.
What is the secondary objective?
Extract
Extract
distrum. What is distrum? Is it some new type of?
Yeah, never seen before.
This is the one that requires the batteries, right? I think I hear one
Yeah.
of them. Somewhere.
Distrum is like Morkite.
Found one battery, throwing it down to the cargo crate. Oh. Okay.
Boost.
Held down.
The battery
there
makes a noise, pinging noise. If you hear it, then search for it.
He has hearing issues.
Dystrom is in the wall. It glows.
Yeah. Right.
Um, Hi Minu, thanks for checking in.
Did we find the other
Let me
way?
shout you out.
Well.
Everyone, please follow Minu. She's. Oh, I almost shot you. She streams a lot of Valorant, art,
Where is the power bank?
Outlast trials, a lot of games, but mostly Valorant. And even lurk on my iPad. Thank you.
Is there remaining well?
Did we? Yeah. Oops.
Fast.
Wow.
Where are the... Oi!
Okay, good.
No boots.
Smug push-ups. Victory move.
Nice. Smoke.
Let's see. Did we connect any of the pump jacks? No, right?
No. I did
Did we
connect one.
find all three?
This is one. There's another behind you.
One is like there, that direction. How do I?
Zip line done.
Try to collect right now.
Yeah.
Going for the last liquid morkite well. Oh my god. Yeah, it's right under Zedite. How do,
Yeah.
how do we
I
get?
Distro just killed Red Eye Knight. Fine. Doesn't matter.
I think we can dig a.
Yeah.
You see the thinnest
Just
part of the wall. We can dig through. Yeah.
from here. Hey.
Which is the thinnest part? Here, I think this part, right?
Marker
Ping,
up.
ping, one, ping. Just
Slightly
Ping
downwards.
the direction. There.
Go down like 45 degrees from there.
I'm on for sure. But okay. Yep. And this is a problem. I'll go right.
Oh
Yep.
Request accepted.
Right.
Pump jack is inbound.
Okay, let me start.
This is slippery surface.
no. Pipe segment up. One down. More to go.
take this one.
What does dice drum even look like?
Blue Morgan.
I think it glows on the wall. Blue color.
Okay. Mm,
Near me, there is a beeping sound, but I can't see anything.
This never gets old.
Ah,
what did you
update
find?
10. Terrain scanner has been updated. Ah, there's a pink box at the top somewhere.
Yeah. Someone can go get that. I am laying pipe. um, why can I not?
Steep.
This should work.
Let's
goes here.
go.
I was born ready.
Pipe laid.
Okay, 2 pipes done.
The mine is also done. Can start constructing it.
Scanners just picked up a horde of agitated glyphid swarmers. Guess you woke them up. Get ready.
As a picture. Whack-a-mole. I guess mission control wouldn't know a monkey wrench from a
Eyes
glyphid.
up. The swarmers are on you.
It's ready. Hello.
I should
Feel like
deposit
I'm the only
and
one
then
building the pipeline.
let me go back.
I hear very loud combat music, but
Yeah, there's an active swarm.
yeah, but I don't see any enemies.
Because it
Put up a few pipes, they
Wave's almost over.
easy, they said. Ugh.
5 to 10, not 10 to 15 spiders. Yeah,
Ah,
That will teach you.
yes. I found dice drum.
Nice.
good for you.
First pump jack connected to refinery and ready to extract.
I have an interesting pipe right here.
Pipe 1 is fully constructed. Pipe 2 is not even started yet.
Let's do this.
Second pump jack
Wasting
connected.
time.
We're almost there.
Um, he's doing dice
What?
from.
What? Say loudly.
See, he has hearing issues.
You're speaking like a coward, so that's why no one can hear you.
Darknet heard it. Where's the second pipe?
How do we cross this?
Bring it over here.
Can I get some attention? Right here. Pipelines in place.
How die? Come did you cut it?
Rock and stone in the heart.
Hello, Sukasa. How you doing?
Rock and stone.
You're still streaming, right?
Beautiful war. Like that.
Or did you end your stream? Oh, I think you ended.
Mission.
How was your stream?
Yeah.
Done diddly done.
Let me shout
I'm
you
going for
out.
the pink cube. Found it.
All lights read green. Pipelines
stop
and
it.
pump jacks are all in place.
Did you
The
win
liquid Morkite is waiting. Return to the
your
refinery
races?
and start up the pump sequence.
Jagged Sun new pickaxe part recovered.
Oh yeah, let's go get the...
Try if you can reach. It's difficult.
The liquid Morkite is being extracted. Refinery and all pump jacks are working at full capacity.
Somehow
Be
can't get
warned,
first place,
the
but
noise
top
will
3
draw
ain't
in
bad.
the locals, so stay
How many
tough
players
and
are
do what
there
you
in
can
the
to protect
race?
and maintain the equipment.
Um,
Keep on fighting. More bugs coming your way.
how do
I think you will need a zip line.
Where should I go?
I need help.
Why did you start it alone?
Liquid Morkite
Where
is
should
being
I...
extracted. Pump
Oh,
sequence
is
at
it up there?
25%.
Oh! You Steve.
Wait, we need help.
Malfunction along the pipeline.
I am on number.
To work.
Which number?
Oh my god.
Fix whatever you see.
I am on an expedition.
I'm on number 2.
5 players and 7 AI on hard difficulty. Oh my god. Ah, this was not a good zip line.
Pipeline repaired, but other pipelines are still malfunctioning.
Which one?
All pipelines fixed and operational again.
Whenever I play a game for the first time, I never... Wait, it was below me. Oh
We
my
got bugs, lots of them.
I never go hard mode right off the bat. I'm too scared of losing.
Pump sequence at 50%.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I might die. I might die. I am gonna die.
Wait.
I fell.
Night is down. You're on mute.
The
Bro,
extraction
man,
has
bro.
stopped. Pipelines in need of maintenance.
I got ambushed by bugs while I was getting out of the cave.
Bugs Bunny.
This pipeline is fixed, but you need to clear all malfunctions in order for the refinery to run.
It's barely holding together.
Pipeline functional again.
Oh my
However,
god,
we still
so
have
many
malfunctions
bugs.
in the system.
Pipeline 1. It's done.
Fix the problem. Everything's running smoothly again.
Everything is running smoothly again.
Everything.
Pump sequence at 75%. We're doing good.
Good. Thank you.
Team swarm incoming.
Yes.
I'll beat your record this way.
We need one
Right.
more
The pipelines are jammed. You need to maintain
dice
it.
drum.
I wonder how scary this game is for people with actual arachnophobia. So many spiders. Oh,
I mean, once you spend time with them, they're not scary. So
Extraction is back
exposure
up and running.
therapy.
Let's hope it stays that way.
yeah, my Steve died. Oh,
Claustrophobia should hopefully be locked in a box, right?
can I order a resupply?
Do it. Do we need it? I think we're almost. Oh, we need dice drum. Are we going to
Yes,
find
for that.
40 more dice
In
drum?
the drop pod to get you
I
Yes,
doubt.
if you just mine one, then you get 40. So
Oh,
you just need to find one spot. And to find it, I need light. Layers, which are open.
wait, what is happening? Fanatic, Pansy shouting.
93 crores?
Oh, they won.
Huh? 100?
Yeah.
Playing a different game today.
Who ordered drop pod?
Not me.
Oh, hi.
Very nice, sir. Very nice.
You. Oh, hi.
It's okay.
Let there be noise.
How do we get there?
I created a path.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 2 minutes.
Where? Okay.
Did you guys collect the bonus?
I did.
Hurry up! I'm not getting any
Jagged
younger.
Sun.
Dice Strum is very scarce.
Shield up. Ready to blow.
Extraction commencing. Good work.
Rockin' stone, brother.
Rock and Stone. Stand by for Rock and Stone.
Or Carl.
Let me equip the new finishing animation that we just got.
Good to see you back in one piece, Miner. Oceran sightings up.
A new panoramic visor. Full 180 panoramic views. Wow, looks very cool.
About this.
Wait, what? Where? Wardrobe?
After you come back.
What is that? What is panoramic?
It's a headgear. But I can't find it.
Forget. Quickly, we have to buy it out.
Panoramic. something. Did it show which character it was for?
All characters.
You
Can't
need to
find
claim
in
it in the
whole room.
battle pass.
Oh,
Pass.
So
I've been waiting to get
Bad, not bad.
script.
Grip Peller has changed.
Yeah, did we use all our scripts from last? I don't think I
Very
did. I
good
think I
question.
had one or two. Oh, there's a whole new cosmetic tree.
Yeah.
I choose you.
I will take a 5.
This one.
2 minutes.
That's it, lads. Rock and stone. That sucks.
Orders from management. Stop dancing and get to it.
What's here? Pickaxe power attack recharges faster.
I slipped.
No.
I got it. That's pretty.
Let me get on the platform.
You know, you're not being paid by the hour. Get to work.
Yeah.
Bugger.
Goalkeeper.
Not again.
Let's see if you can kick it back to me so I can kick it. Try to do back and forth.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
Upwards.
No.
It's getting faster.
No. Okay. This is not happening.
Oh.
That's pretty.
Oh.
Okay. This is not happening.
Ah,
That was my
Hello.
chance. Hello.
hello.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Bugger.
Thank you.
Rock and
Not
stone.
welcome.
That's it, lads. Rock and stone.
Get lost.
Okay, I'll go. Bye.
Bye.
Crystalline caverns. Oh, heavy
Come here.
extraction.
Take a drink.
Resinite. 3 resinite, collect 10 fossils. Okay.
Sequence initiated.
Pickaxe recharges faster.
Less noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Could you please hurry up? We're leaving.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's
Drop
go.
sequence initiating. Fasten your seatbelts.
Rock and stone.
Stone like
Yeah. Rock.
Who is the next
Fossil.
match? Giantex versus Heretics.
Heretics. Didn't they have a match yesterday?
don't remember. Maybe.
My stomach is
Oh, yesterday was BBL, Vitality, and now we.
Yeah. Mates.
Yeah.
lock in stone.
Yeah.
Going to excavate resinite masses this time, miners.
Pretty good
We have
location.
some handy lift rockets available to get the masses back to orbit once you're done digging. Get it done.
Wait.
Get it done.
Fast. I don't have much time. Run.
Why would you can't use this already?
What are you doing, man?
Just breaking that drilling with the drill machine to clear the path. It's not gonna break like that.
Noob. He's a professional noob.
It's all for the content, bro.
Sure.
You
Oh,
gotta entertain your viewers.
I think most of my viewers have just left the stream on and are sleeping, so you don't need to entertain them.
What the fuck?
He's bad, bro.
Where is this guy? There.
No using effort, okay? This is a family stream.
Share this stream with your family.
How this person,
I don't mind.
because
Rite coming
he's
up, miners.
not
Look out for that resinite deposit. We'll
controlled.
send in the rockets for it once you have it excavated.
You'll be fine.
Excavation at 50%. Stay on task.
Yeah.
Excavation at 100%. Well done. Stand by. Lift rockets are on the way.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Done in sweet.
Steve,
Poor guy.
one of the Steves just got destroyed.
Cancelled.
Next time, let's go
You
somewhere.
want something?
Next time, let's go somewhere nice.
Lift pod to launch the payload.
Yeah.
As if we have a choice.
2 to go. Making good progress. Keep it up.
We do.
We can go to
Oi.
Los Santos.
Swarm on a direct intercept course. Get ready.
We can do some golfing after this mission if we end it fast. Does it show the resonate things on the map, like the eggs?
No, but I'm going lower. There is another cave.
Run for cover!
I
Awesome.
found this green color gem. What is it called?
Green thing.
So many enemies on them. What did I do to them?
You are existing.
Oh my god.
Molly, over here.
Calling Stevie, guys. Steve, come here.
Oi. Why
Hang
are
in
you
there.
calling
The wave is
Molly?
almost dealt with. Dispatch whatever's left.
So long, suckers.
Where is Steve?
Steve,
Steve, not Steve. Molly, Molly, Molly. Sorry.
It's
oh,
one resonate masses
great.
below.
Let me
Calling
deposit.
Molly. Wait.
One resonate mass is right below us.
Yeah, just deposit it. I'll start thinking.
Oh my god.
There's a fossil over there. Wait, I'm not a fall.
All right.
Daddies. Can you call
There's a
Molly
fossil
again?
over there.
Molly.
You're halfway there, team. Keep it up.
Molly.
Call the Molly.
Yeah, I did.
Complete. Stand by for lift rockets. Begin attachment phase. Rocket attachments are here, team. Grab them and attach them to the sides of the mass.
I called for Molly. I'm getting too old for this crap.
Attachment complete. Return to the lift pod and launch the resonite mass. Lift rockets are returning with the goods. Fine job.
Old gold.
Not even Molly can carry a load like that, old. No, resonite.
Now what?
I was born ready.
Is there more?
Stone over here.
Just call Molly, I think. Ah.
Came from
Which
here,
way?
so
Weapon ready.
not this way.
Never felt better. Molly.
Slightly above us, there's something. How do we get there? I can just take from here, I think.
Ping, ping.
I think from here, maybe.
The tunnel is blocked.
If you go slightly up, you see there's something.
Hmm.
There's.
What
Oh wait,
category?
that's where the thing came, right? The pod.
Yeah, I don't know.
That we've already been there. No way, that's not where the bot came. The bot came below. Yeah, try taking here.
Dig here.
Take like straight upwards. Not straight, like 45 degrees.
Little bit more. Now straight.
Nice.
No more room. Time for deposit.
I got the deposit.
We can go down, we can go up. Let's go up first.
Wait.
What?
What kind of fiendish technology makes Molly constantly get in the
There's
way?
another terrain scanner update.
Wait.
Coordinates transfer. Gotta get my terrain scan.
Coordinates transferred, but it is very, very, very
Behind, a
far.
bit behind the road.
I shoot that. Yes,
No, 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 no.
Explosive device.
Wait.
I'm just walking through. I can just run through them, it doesn't do anything.
Died honorably.
Oh my god. Secret tunnel. What?
Explosive device. Your shit succeeded.
Are we going?
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Halfway done. Stay on schedule. Excavation phase complete. Stand by for lift rockets and begin attachment phase.
Attachment
Flight rockets
phase.
in order is on the way.
Hey, explosive, get away, Ignite.
We got an incoming swarm. Rockets have arrived. Draft them off the lift pod and attach them to
Oh, order
the
this.
resonite mass.
Coming down, grabbing them. Consider this sugar. Legally speaking, rocking.
Swarm! Repeat, swarm!
Swarms.
Hey! Trigger the split bullet brain.
That collectible thing is up there. Almost straight up. How do we get there? Oh, yeah, we can take. Oh, yes.
Die, monsters!
button on the lift pod to begin launch.
I am going to the collectible thing.
Resonite handled. Mission complete. Good work, team. Come on home when you're ready. The fuel is prepped.
I don't think I'll be able to make it. No. Well,
We'll need 3 fossils.
um,
Found one.
Thriller, can you come and try digging a path to the thing that's up there? There's a collectible thing there.
Ammo taken. Yeah, give me some sugar.
Just need one more fossil.
And zipline is not that great.
Nope.
I can put another one maybe. Let's see.
Access provided. Here I come.
We're on the wrong one.
There's a relay with that is
Oh, yes.
Someone lost again.
New pickaxe part recovered. Pneumatic.
Let me find you guys. Where am I?
So cute. We almost killed you here.
Yeah, that looks right. Maybe. Yes.
Zip, zoom. So long, suckers.
I don't have any fossils.
Down the hatch.
We need only one more.
Fossil, fossil. This is a very complicated map. Hey, there was this one place where we went up instead of down, right? Where was that? I don't see it.
Load.
Oh, what is this hole? Is this the landing? Oh,
I don't know.
that's where the landing pod came in.
I think let's just call it and maybe we find it on the way.
Yeah. Where
And where is
is
Molly going?
The flash that is going through the surface.
call the
Good work.
drop pod?
Sending in the drop pod.
Let's see. I am below you guys. Let's see where it goes.
Ah, found the fossil.
Drop pod arrived.
Nice.
Returning to LZ. Drop pod departing in T-minus 5 minutes.
How do I get to the drop pod?
The thunder from down under.
Deployed up.
Secondary objective completed. Fine job.
Okay, I found Molly's trail.
The mule's been successfully
Molly,
retrieved.
Molly.
Make it snappy, team. The drop pod won't hang around forever. Drop pod departing in T-minus 4 minutes.
Explosives, fires.
Retrieving escape pod.
Rock on! Rock.
Rock on.
And there's that my train and
What happened?
I'll go now.
No golf?
Nope.
Sad.
I see you're taking well to extraction duty.
More perk points for me. Like that.
Are there any new perks or something? I don't think so.
No touching the sample containers, please. They're not built for dwarf antics.
I have 19 perk points. Berserker. Go berserk for 10 seconds, during which you get boosted melee damage and lightning fast pickaxe power attack recharge.
Classy moves, team. Now quit it.
Another perk, please. Perk obtained.
Oh, robot.
What?
Dance move, robot.
Orders from management. Stop dancing and get to it.
We rock!
Did we get anything in the battle pass thing? Script? No. Find season events during missions and complete them to get Osium. Collect 3 to earn a script.
Disc jockey, play 25 songs on the jukebox. Got this achievement.
Nice. Huh.
Gravity recalibration commencing. Expect turbulence. Launch control reports foreign objects in the launch tube. It appears that something is interfering with the force field. Would you happen to know anything about it?
Forge.
Rock and roll!
Bye bye. What is your... Yeah, you didn't even say anything. What is your Discord avatar decoration?
Ah. Yeah, headset something. I don't know.
Nice.
Rock and stone in the heart!
GG's.
GG, bye
You
bye.
want to do like the daily stuff in GTA?
No, I will eat something.
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. Good night.
Good night. Okay, what should we do now? I could do my gacha dailies. Maybe touch the play. So I haven't done my Genshin dailies. I think I did. What? Yeah, probably just do my Genshin dailies and then go sleep. Have to fix my sleep schedule. Wait, no one no one redeemed first today. That's funny. Mm. we change category? Do I have the command set up for this? Genshin Impact. Yeah, I do.
Looks like it's time for a lantern ride again. Let's find
Oh
some
my
time to
god,
visit
lantern
Liyue
ride.
Harbor.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Late night Genshin. Simple stream title. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to do this boss once.
Solidify!
Hey there! Hiya! Haha! Nah. Nah. Huh? I'm going in! Ha. Nah. Nah. Hiya! Ha.
Gather!
Haha! Nah. Ha. Usual! Ha.
Solidify!
Cha.
This boss is so easy now. Used to take a couple of cycles before. I hate the artifact cap. It's so bad. Ah. Okay. Bye, bye. Wait, have the banners changed? They haven't, right? Interesting. Okay, I wanted to... Where... Okay, here's level 90. Which means I can now go here. This is what I wanted to do. Nice. Okay, now let's go here. Ah, so annoying. Wait, what is happening in the
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
Team Heretics? Wait, should I tell Mino? Is she? I think she's a Heretic supporter. Let me see if she's online on Discord.
Haven't you heard?
No, she's not.
You're getting pretty busy recently.
Oh yeah, let me leave Discord.
Today's recommendation. Come take a look.
Okay,
Something that catches
what
your
now? Serenity Pot. I am so sleepy. You know what? I'll just do my dailies and then I'll end stream.
This realm is truly beginning to thrive.
But
If
it's
you ever-
cool that the Lantern Rite stuff is here. Maybe I'll do it over the weekend. Maybe not. I'm gonna be a bit busy on the weekend. Oh, this weekend will probably be my last couple of streams. I'm going to be away for most of the... I might stream once on Monday if I have the energy after work. Yeah. Tuesday onwards, I'll have family coming over and I don't want to stream while my parents are, visiting me. I don't want to, sideline them and ignore them. So yeah, I'll probably not be, they'll be visiting for pretty much the entirety of the month, so I will not be streaming most of the month. There might be some short streams. What time is it for you now? It's 2:41 a.m. Which is why I've been yawning for the last hour or so. Oh, 300 primo gems. That is yeah, I mean, I have a pretty messed up sleep schedule. I usually sleep 4 or 5
I
a.m.
really want to go traveling. I
But
don't mind
then
where we go, as long as I have my
by the
friends
time
with
it's
me.
the weekend, yeah. I usually catch up on my sleep on weekends. But on weekdays, yeah, I sleep at 4 and then I wake up at 10 for work. And that's if I'm I say I sleep at 4, but then that's like when I go to bed, it still takes me like an hour to actually go to sleep. So usually I have like 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep on weekdays. So by the time it's Friday, I get really tired. So then Saturday, mostly I sleep through the day. Then Sunday, I'm back to like Saturday night, I again stay up really late. Sunday night again, I'm back to like staying up till 4 or 5. So Monday again, super tired. I should really fix my sleep, but I sleep through most of my Saturdays. Yeah, same. Increasing danger. What time is it for you right now? What's our time difference like?
Let's light it up! Watch out!
It's about to be 1 p.m. Okay, so my 3 a.m. would be your 1 p.m. I guess. So 3 a.m. 13, so 10 hours of difference. No, wait, what? 12, 14 hours of difference, right? I thought it was 10, but I'm bad. Yeah, that's what I thought too at first, but yeah, I think it's 14, right? Like, if it's gonna be 1 p.m., that means it's gonna be like 1300 hours. 13 plus 14 would be 27 minus 24, that's 3 a.m. Yeah, that's correct.
I do love Spina di Rosula's logo. It was designed by my mother. Have you noticed how it's shaped like a heart?
Time zones are really, like, I understand why they're necessary, but you always have to keep them in mind when talking to people online. But what I don't understand is like daylight saving. I feel like, I mean, yeah, it had a basis in like actually saving daylight and stuff back in the day, but these days, I feel like it should just be like we should not have daylight saving anymore these days. Because it's so confusing when you think about like, okay, I know this friend of mine is, let's say, I don't know, 14 hours behind me, but then for some months of the year, they are actually 13 hours behind me or like 15 hours behind me. It's so confusing. Yeah, I always forget people aren't in my time zone when talking. Yeah.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing. Ad Astra.
The poor VA who did the voice for Catherine. Like her most famous voice line in the world is Ad Astra, and then everyone just cuts her off there. I hope she doesn't feel bad about it. It's not like she does a bad job, it's just that people have heard it so much. Daylight saving is really confusing even when using time zone converters. I have to remember to use CDT and CST. I'm not even sure if CST is correct. Yeah. Is it because she's an ass or no? She says like Ad Astra Abyssosk, which I think means from the stars to the abyss or
Ad
something.
Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
But then she says this every time you click go talk to her, and then if you go do something like you claim your dailies, and then you go back in the menu, she says the same thing again. So people are used to just spamming F,
Ad
so then it just skips as soon as she Ad Astra. So no one listens to her say the entire line. That would get, yeah, exactly. It is annoying. I mean, at this point, people are used to just skipping it. But yeah, the ad asked that part always plays. Should we start this lantern right thing? 'Cause I'm not feeling that sleepy anymore. Maybe I'll start it. And I mean, it's Saturday, so I can stay up late.
Split the bamboo in the morning, dry it till night. Shape and bend it nice and tight. Cross the strands to form a pattern, coat in silk, and you have a lantern. That's how you remember how to make a show lantern. Did you get all that, Chi-Chi?
Morning. Split bamboo. Traveler. Then get silk. Make Paimon.
What? No, that doesn't even rhyme.
Look, it's them.
Hey, Yao Yao! Hey, Chi-Chi!
They're so cute.
Whoa, Traveler! Paimon, you're here! Happy Lantern Rite!
Happy Lantern Rite.
What you up to? I'm teaching Chi-Chi to make show lanterns. It's a real test of finger dexterity, so it'll help keep her nice and loose.
Yes, I do finger exercises to be a nimble zombie.
Oh,
Wanna try too, you two?
thanks, but I already know how. Thanks, but I prefer to buy them from Granny Shan.
Oh, okay. Well, we need a whole bunch this year so it doesn't get too dark at night. Too dark? What does that mean?
Dr. Baiju has patients who got hurt walking at night. The moon disappeared, so it was too dark to see.
Damn, the moon disappeared.
The moon disappeared? Like, behind the clouds?
It was Jonju, the moon devourer.
John Ju. The way she said it sounded like John. John Ju, the moon devourer.
Changshan told me about it, but now I forgot.
It's an old myth from Chenyu Vale about a giant toad in the sky that eats the moon. What? The moon gets eaten? It's just a story. It's not like there's actually a giant toad in the sky.
Oh, I heard something else. What did you hear?
I asked Master
I mean,
about
obviously
it,
she was
and
actually
she
saying
said
like
myths are
John
just
Ju or
insights
something like that.
into how the people of the past understood the world.
And I think I've been too much John pilled all the brain rot. John Xenia, John Tay, John Kyle. So did the moon really disappear?
Well, I didn't see it that night. But I've checked several nights since, and it's been there same as ever. According to Chi-Chi, though, the Ministry of Civil Affairs sent someone to do some kind of serious investigation. So, I don't know. Maybe something did happen.
I don't know if people who are named John are actually John. John Sus.
Ministry of Civil Affairs? This is starting to sound bad.
We cannot trust the Johns.
It's okay. You can fly. Even if
The boy
it's
who
too
cried
dark,
John.
You won't fall and get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So turn that frown upside down, Paimon. Or someday you'll get a whole bunch of wrinkles and wake up looking like an old granny. What? Okay. No more frowning. But the Traveler can't fly. He can still fall and hurt himself, right? Don't worry. That's what the shout lanterns are for. As long as we make enough, Liyue Harbor will never go dark.
Yeah, and there's the giant lantern too.
Oh, right! I almost forgot. Look! This year's Grand Lantern commemorates the Adeptus who guards the moon. With her watching over it, the moon will be safe for sure.
That's a crazy lantern.
A white horse? Wait! So that's the White Horse Adeptus? Yeah! Legend has it she used to live on the moon. So if it were ever in danger, I'm sure she wouldn't just stand by and watch. Huh! We've heard of the White Horse Adeptus before, but we never heard the part about her living on the moon. Probably because it's a folk legend from Tenyu Vale, so not a lot of people know about it. But recently, some ancient artifacts were unearthed in Liyue, and the archaeological team even found evidence of ancient people worshipping an Adeptus who lived in a palace on the moon. It's kind of like how we write wishes on Shao lanterns and release them during Lantern Rite. The White Horse Adeptus would descend from the moon in her jade carriage and grant people's wishes. Ooh! When did that happen? She sounds different from the other Adepti in Liyue. It must have been a super long time ago, because even Master barely knows anything about this Adeptus.
So Madam Ping has never met the White Horse Adeptus either.
Nope. Kinda unbelievable, right? Yanfei said the White Horse Adeptus might even be a made-up legend, just like Janju the Moon Devourer.
Yeah, a made-up horse and a made-up toad.
You're mistaken, children. The White Horse Adeptus really does exist.
Damn, old man has a nice voice.
Oh, Mr. Liu from the Baiju Guest House. But how do you know that for sure?
Have you ever wondered how the guest house got its name, Yao Yao?
Baiju White Colt.
Does have a
So
god, yeah.
it's named after the White Horse Adeptus?
That's right. And that's because one of my ancestors was once blessed by the White Horse Adeptus.
Wait, really? Tell us more! Tell us more!
Random old man NPC walks in with an amazing voice.
It was a long, long time ago, when this ancestor of mine was still a young girl. She was out gathering herbs and accidentally fell off a cliff, but the White Horse Adeptus rescued her.
Oh, that's it? Paimon was expecting something a bit more special. We've heard a whole bunch of stories like that before.
Patience, young one. Let me finish. After the White Horse Adeptus saved my ancestor, she told her a story about the moon and the ancient kingdom of Long Gone.
Long gone. The kingdom was so ancient that it's long
My
gone.
ancestor was so captivated that she completely lost track of time. So much so, in fact, that when she returned to her village, she found nothing but a desolate ruin in its place. It was as if, without her knowledge, countless years had passed in the mortal world.
Huh?
The most extraordinary part of all is that it turned out to be a dream. When she woke up, she found herself at the bottom of the cliff, right where she had fallen. Other than her medicine basket, now filled to the brim with rare herbs, it was as if nothing had happened. Until out of nowhere, a horse's whinny echoed through the air. And when she looked up, she saw a pristine white horse leaping over the cliff.
A white horse leaping over the cliff.
Wow, that sure is a crazy story. But now, it's starting to sound a bit too far-fetched.
Another skeptic. You sound just like my son. But I know it's true. Ancestral records don't lie.
Wait, so your son doesn't believe it happened?
Don't get me started. Not believing is one thing, but he even wants to change the name of our guest house. It's a disgrace, I tell you, a disgrace.
Why does he want to change the name?
Well, it was getting about time for him to take over the guest house. And what's the first thing he does? Starts going on about how the name doesn't attract enough customers and how we're losing business to Wangshu Inn. Can you believe that? As if Baiju Guest House and Wangshu Inn aren't miles apart from each other.
BRB, going to make breakfast, lunch, sure. Have a good brunch, I guess.
Oh, what about something like the Geo Lord's Rest? My mom bets that would get people through the doors.
Geo Lord's Rest. I like that one.
This isn't about getting people through the doors. This is about disrespecting our ancestors. Oh, White Horse Adeptus, my wish is this. Let your divine power be known. Teach my foolish son the error of his ways.
Paimon wants to learn more about this Adeptus. Hey, maybe we should ask Zhang Li.
Let's go talk to Mr. John Lee.
Good idea! Mr. Zhang Li is super knowledgeable. He can answer questions even Master has no clue about.
Any idea where we can find him?
Yeah, we just saw him having tea at third round knockout. Alright, then that's our next stop. Chi-Chi and I are gonna keep making Shao lanterns. But careful on the road.
Goodbye, Paimon. Goodbye, traveler.
Man, she's so cute. But it's like so sad, her entire backstory. Like a zombie child is so sad. She'll never get to grow up. She's forgetful, so she forgets people. Wait, who's this? Is this supposed to be her? Oh yeah, the moon thing. It looks like she has dark hair. Go to quest. I guess the events are gonna be time locked, right? I'm pretty sure they will be, so I'll probably do them later. Let's just do the quest. I have so many quests left in this game. Let's talk to this guy again.
May the White Horse Adeptus bless us and watch over our business.
Oops. I wanna do this. Join the Adventurers Guild. You'll have a blast. The halberd and the fang. The gang's all here. But where's Mr. John Lee?
Oh. Curious.
Impressive, right? What's with all the commotion over here? Oh, Traveler and Paimon! Perfect timing! I have something amazing to show you!
Yeah, these early Genshin characters were so, I don't know, adorable.
Huh? What the? Heart of the Moon is blacked out! Was it really eaten by a giant toad?
Huh. I didn't expect you to know the story of Jonju the Moon Devourer, Paimon.
Don't underestimate Paimon. She learned a whole bunch of things in Sumeru.
But Jonju the Moon Devourer is a Liyue legend.
Well, knowledge knows no borders, so... there.
You're right about that, Paimon. But this dark circle doesn't look anything like a toad to me. A toad's egg, maybe? But, oh, wait, Traveler! You've been in Nodcry, right? The people there worship the moon goddess. So you should know what's going on here.
This wasn't a thing in Nordcry either.
Really? Not even in a place where people worship the moon?
But there's a celestial phenomenon called a lunar eclipse.
Oh yeah! Master told me that the tale of Jianzhu, the Moon Devourer, was how ancient people explained a certain celestial phenomenon.
But what is it exactly? Some kind of omen of disaster?
Nope, just a natural phenomenon. But this this lunar eclipse seems different.
How so?
A lunar eclipse usually starts from the outer edge.
Oh, but in this picture, the moon is being covered from the center. So this can't be a normal eclipse. Then it's still an omen of some impending calamity?
We never said that!
Where did this picture come from?
Ugh, some crazy customer left it at the restaurant. Just thinking about it gives me the chills.
Attention, everyone! As the auspicious festival season approaches, I have an announcement to make. I, Lu Xiong, am on the verge of becoming one of the most renowned archaeologists in all of Liyue Harbor. No, scratch that, in all of Tibet. Even though I never trained at a prestigious academy, I've still managed to dig up tons of treasures. And I understand practically a whole dictionary's worth of big words, too. Like my pops always says, no pain, no gain. And I haven't had it easy, that's for sure. So, it's definitely my turn to make a name for myself.
What's the deal with her?
No idea. Maybe she ate a bad batch of perch stew?
That's not what the subtitle says. The guy said something completely different. Sounds like she's a few perches short of a stew, if you know what I mean. Okay, this is a lot ruder.
What? You don't believe me?
Damn, she's going Super Saiyan.
I'm telling you, I dug up treasures from the ancient nation of Longan. I even got a picture of Jonju devouring the moon.
Longan? Jonju? What is she even talking about?
Sounds like she's a few perches short of a stew, if you know what I mean.
Wait. Okay, they accidentally duplicated the same subtitles.
So what if blackback perch stew is my favorite? Stop talking about me like I'm not here.
Oh my god.
Whoa, what are you doing?
You're just a stupid, ignorant man, and I'm gonna kill you.
Young lady, you need to calm down.
What? So you're looking down on me now too? How about I take you both out then? How does that sound?
Ah, she's so mad.
This is a place for dining. If you wish to take me out, you'll have to do it elsewhere.
Oh. I would like to take you out, Shanna.
Don't act like you're better than me. Do you know who I am? I'm about to be the most famous archaeologist in all of Liyue. No, Tevat!
Okay, I like how much energy the VA is putting into this
Show
performance.
me some respect.
Show me some respect.
It's respect you want? Very well. For the sake of the other customers, we'll do this your way.
What? So Shenhe started the fight? She had no choice. The woman pulled a shovel out of nowhere and started going crazy, flipping tables left and right. She even injured 2 other customers. Shenhe did what she had to do to restrain her, then took her to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Damn.
Thank goodness Aunt Shenhe was there. Or who knows what might have happened.
Yeah. I started cleaning up after all the commotion, and that's when I found this photo. I thought it might be the one she dropped, so I rushed over to show someone.
She said she took a photo of Jonju the Moon Devourer. This must be it.
Can we really trust what she said, though? Clearly, something is going on with her.
Paimon's got a point. It sounds like she wasn't acting right at all. How do we know she wasn't possessed by some kind of evil spirit?
Well, I like these poses so much. Look at her face. So cute.
Aunt Shenhe would have noticed if she was possessed.
All right. But what about the part about Long Gone and the treasure she found? What about it? What if she raided a tomb and dug up some super special relic, then got herself haunted by an ancient ghost? One so powerful that even Miss Shenhe couldn't sense its presence.
Your imagination is something else, Hu Tao. Why would an ancient ghost come to Wanmin restaurant, huh? To eat my blackback perch stew?
Hey, it could happen. I'd want to eat your food if I was a ghost.
Wait a second. She mentioned the ancient nation of Longon, right? Paimon's heard that somewhere before.
You know what? My brother mentioned that some ancient artifacts were unearthed in Liyue recently. Mostly colored glass, fine jade, and bronze relics. Some of the text inscribed on them has already been deciphered. There were some poetic verses, but the word long gone popped up as well.
Bro, what's with the... And they really didn't do very good QA on this, did they? Once again, like the voice line did not match.
Some of the text inscribed on them has already been deciphered. There were some poetic verses, but the word long gone popped up as well.
So, does that mean this Longon place is real?
Man, every time they say long gone, I want to make a long gone pun.
Still, Paimon knows we've heard the name somewhere before. Do you remember, Traveler?
The owner of Baiju Guest House just mentioned it.
Right! His ancestor heard about it from the White Horse Adeptus. The White Horse Adeptus? Oh, so you must have been to see the giant lantern already. Yep. And it turns out that the White Horse Adeptus is super mysterious, too. Even Madame Ping hasn't met her.
Wait, I thought she was the gold-eyed Celadon mare of the 8 Adepts.
That's just the interpretation you believe in, Hu Tao. There are other theories out there too. The elders of Qingce village believe that during the Archon War, a white horse leapt from a clear spring, transforming into an Adeptus who aided Rex Lapis in battle. In Chenyu Vale, some of the tribes take her to be the Daughter of Time, and trace her deeds to an even earlier era.
Daughter of Time is interesting. Huh. Daughter of Time. Istarot.
Yet in other ancient texts, including the relics I just mentioned, she appears as an emissary who listens to mortal wishes, bestowing the blessings of the heavens and moon upon the mortal realm.
Like an angel.
Which is why we write our wishes on Shao lanterns.
That's so complicated. So what's the verdict? Which version is the truth?
I'm afraid there's no definitive answer to that.
You two have been all over Tevat. Do you have an idea?
Nope, sorry. We were actually on our way to ask Zhongli. He knows even more about this kind of stuff than us.
Ah, looking for a consultant, huh? He's having tea with Miss Linlong. Shigu Antiques is hosting an exhibition tonight.
Ugh.
An exhibition? For what?
All those antiques Sing Show just mentioned. So if you head to the big ship docked in the harbor tonight, I'm sure you'll find him.
Thanks, Hu Tao. We'll check it out. Isn't it a bit weird calling your friend by their full name? Like Hu Tao.
So, where to next? How about we go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs to ask about the White Horse Adeptus? We might be able to find out more about the recent moon situation, too.
If you're heading to the Ministry of Civil Affairs, could you give them this picture for me? Since it belongs to that customer, she deserves to get it back at least. It might even help the Ministry with their investigation.
Of course, let's go.
Alright, we're off!
Oh wait, I almost forgot! Happy Lantern Rite!
Come have a meal with us when you're free. We'll be there, or we'll be... square.
Thinking about it now, could it be possible that photograph was a fake?
A fake? You mean like the customer fabricated it to gain academic recognition?
Nice one, Changyun! I never even thought of it like that. How about we go check out that place tonight? I know exactly where it is.
All right.
I'll get scolded if I get home too late.
Live a little, Sing-Cho. You act like this is a first for you. Worst comes to worst, we'll get Xiangling to cook you something delicious, okay?
Well, when you put it like that, I suppose it's worth the risk.
You were just waiting for the promise of free food, weren't you? Fine. It's a plan then. We'll meet up tonight.
Let's TP up there so we can drop down. I should probably switch teams, you know? I was just using this team for the Geo Hypostasis. I think I'll switch to this.
And your grandfather is of the same opinion, Miss Lanyan?
Yes. On Lantern Rite, the moon shall go dark. That's what the signs are indicating. Celestial observation isn't Grandpa's strong suit. But he discussed it with several other elders from our clan, and their conclusion was the same.
Doesn't Lan Yan's face, like the proportions, don't they look a bit weird? Like her eyes and like the rest of her face is just in like the bottom half of her facial profile. So like this entity has like a huge forehead if you remove the bangs. I mean, if you draw like a halfway line through the like her entire face, aside from the eyebrows, is below the halfway point.
It's consistent with the information we've received from other sources as well. You mean the whole thing? About the legend of Jonju the Moon Devourer? Happening in real life? Yes, that's one of them. So it's true. I thought it was just a rumor. It's true. But right now, the bigger issue is that all our sources indicate the phenomenon's gonna happen again. I'm not sure this bodes well.
let's remain optimistic for now. We're making progress interpreting the artifacts, and Ganyu is consulting with the Adepti as we speak. Besides, apart from the incident at Wanmin Restaurant, there haven't been any other moon-related disturbances.
Ningguang, Keqing, and Lanyan! You're all here!
The new Kuching wears.
Oh,
Interesting.
Traveler! And Paimon! It's been a while. Happy Lantern Rite.
Yes, Happy Lantern Rite. What brings you here, though? I thought you'd be in the harbor enjoying the Shao lanterns.
You're certainly not the type to visit Yujing Terrace for no reason. Is there something I can help you with?
What? We're not allowed to just drop in on our friends during the festive season?
I was only teasing. You're welcome to visit us anytime you wish.
Oh, my hands are
Happy
getting
Lantern
cold.
Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite.
Oh, and about all the moon business you were just talking about? We have something to show you. Here, take a look!
Whoa! Something really did take a chunk out of the moon.
Someone managed to capture a picture of it. Is this Zhanju, the Moon Devourer, then?
Even though we confirmed this event took place, I still can't quite believe what I'm seeing. Where did you get this picture?
From Xiangling! She found it when she was cleaning up after that customer caused a scene. She thinks they must have dropped it.
Wait, is this Chawang Terrace?
Yeah, is something wrong?
No, it's just where I'm from. It said that Chawang Terrace was where the ancient people of Chenyu Vale communicated with the heavens. And in this picture, the moon happens to be right above Chawang Terrace. I was just surprised, that's all. It's probably just a coincidence.
That's interesting because the ancient people of Chenyu Vale migrated there from the chasm area.
The chasm? So,
according to our investigation, that customer you just mentioned, Lu Xiangxiang, her father and grandfather are merchants in Liyue Harbor, and her mother and grandmother grow tea in Chaoying Village. A few days ago, she left her home in Chaoying Village to join a civilian archaeological team funded by Hoishan Hall, and ended up excavating some artifacts in the chasm area. These artifacts were then entrusted to Shigu Antiques and are set to be featured in an upcoming exhibition. Then, of course, the incident at Wanmin Restaurant occurred. We suspect something happened during the excavation that left her with quite the shock.
And now, it seems like she also went to Chawang Terrace and took that picture of the moon disappearing.
the chasm, Chuan Terrace. Things are getting pretty complicated.
How's Lu Shangshang doing now?
She's not in a good mental state, so we took her to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get some help. Why don't you come with me to check up on her? At this point, you seem invested in this case too.
Gladly.
Then let's head there now.
Let's go.
Now that I see this picture, it looks less like a piece of the moon was eaten, and more like something is obscuring it.
But what sort of thing could block out the moon?
Tonight we steal the moon. I remember seeing those memes when this story was about like saving Columbina. And she's like the moon goddess, so there were memes about Traveler doing the crew pose and saying, "Tonight we steal the moon." Her animations are so graceful.
Ah, Lady Yuheng. Oh, and the Traveler and Paimon are here as well.
What a pleasant surprise. Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite.
I hope we're not interrupting, Dr. Baiju.
Not at all. I assume you're here to see the patient? Unless it's urgent, however, it would be best not to disturb her rest.
Is her condition that bad?
It's quite unstable. She's even more agitated than when she first arrived. And she refused to cooperate when we tried to check her over. I had no choice but to prescribe a calming draught and to have her rest for 2 days.
So she's getting worse? That isn't the news I was hoping for.
It's just a precaution. Based on an earlier conversation with her, it seemed more like a fixation than anything else. She hasn't lost her mind.
That's right. When we asked about it, she kept insisting she was going to be famous far and wide. Well, it might not be far and wide, but she certainly made a name for herself around Yujing Terrace. Even some of the Qixing know who she is.
I'm about to make a name for myself here. Have you ever seen something like this, Baiju?
Not often, that's for certain. From my initial assessment, the patient appears to have experienced some sort of shock, and whatever it was seems to still be haunting her.
But what could have caused such a thing? The relics from the chasm? Or the moon above Chuang Terrace that night?
Come back in 2 days, and you might just have your answer.
I suppose that's all we can do for now. We'll take our leave then, Dr. Baiju.
Of course.
Is this
If
gonna
you
be
need
the end
anything
of the
else,
quest for
don't
now?
hesitate to stop by.
And I guess we'll have to wait for like 2 days.
Speaking of those relics from the chasm, aren't they being featured in an exhibition tonight?
Oh wait.
That's right. Are you planning to attend?
Yeah, we wanted to have a talk with Zhang Li anyway, and now Paimon's even more curious about these relics.
Would you like to tag along?
I would.
That was
Except
a
every
cute
item in
giggle.
the exhibition had to be registered with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. So I'm afraid it's been spoiled for me. I reviewed them all myself. There are some rather peculiar artifacts, that's for certain.
I mean, you could just
We're still
come
working
with
on
me for
decoding the
company.
ancient text that appears on them.
Yeah, the word jade appears a whole bunch, doesn't it?
Huh? How did you know?
Shincho told us. He said there were some ancient poems on them, too.
He's quite well informed, isn't he? Well, he's right. We believe they're direct references to the ancient nation of long gone. As for the other text, instead of regular poetry, it seems to be more like ceremonial language used to worship the moon and the gods.
The moon and the...
Well, looks like it's almost time for the exhibition. You two should head over. There's an usher at the harbor who will lead you to the venue.
Do we need an invitation?
Not at all. The exhibition is free to the public. The people of Liyue have a great respect for our history and are eager to learn from it. Plus, the exhibition is being organized by Linlong, the owner of Shigu Antiques. As far as I know, it's been a long-time goal of hers to hold a cultural exhibition of this scale, where people can learn all sorts of information about the past.
Guess we're in for a real treat tonight, then.
Yes, have a great time. There's still more artifact decoding work I need to finish, so we'll have to part ways here. After seeing the picture you brought, there's a few ideas I'd like to follow up on.
You're hard at work even during festival season? Huh. You haven't changed one bit, Ka-Ching.
Should I try using my Life 2D model?
I'm simply fulfilling the responsibilities of my position. That's all. All right. I should get going. See you later.
Well, guess we should head over to the harbor and find that usher.
Give me a second. Why did it update this thing now? Weird. That was weird. Okay, let me see if my live 2D model is working. Seems to be working. There we go. All right.
Show me your prescription.
Give me a second. I'm just.
So many medicines, but no cure for heartache. Please, show me your prescription.
Okay, we should be good to go. Gentry, Dayan. So many medicines, but no cure for heartache. Is something the matter? My story has become a byword here in Liyue. Not a while back, I opposed my daughter, Huachu's marriage to some beggar boy. And my sweet daughter, she threw herself down a well. Oh my god. Why did she have to fall for that indigent, rat-eyed schoolmaster? Ah, alas. She'd rather live a pauper with him than let me arrange her affairs. I said but a few words, and then she... Could you be so foolish, Huachu? And you? Are you trying to rub salt in my wounds? Graham, get lost, don't bother me. I really never talked to that guy before. Oh, we can invite a companion. Constellation 2. Constellation's full. Okay, I guess I have like 2 choices. Probably 2 white jade radishes. You go ahead, throwing mode throws out. The next throw will also release a mega radish. It will have a larger AoE than the standard white jade radish and have the following effects upon exploding. Deals AoE dendro damage based on 75% of Yao Yao's attack. Restores HP, okay. And probably take Lanian, I guess. Ooh, cute. So cute. Aww. Look at that. The backpack. Oh my god, it's so cute. Oh. Unlocks after 1 day. I'm guessing this means 1 day and 20 hours or something. 13 hours. So Monmo.
Ah, here for the exhibition? I can take you aboard.
Yes, please.
After you.
Whoa! Look at all the antiques on this ship! It's almost too much to take in!
Keep an eye out for Zhongli. Wait, where's my traveler's outfit?
Greetings. I trust you've been well since last we met?
Aha! Speak of the devil! You're right where Hu Tao said you'd be!
Ah, so Director Hu gave me away, did she?
Don't act like you're up to some super secret business!
I have
We know you
returned.
just do
Welcome
whatever
back,
you feel like.
Goro.
Yo, Traveler, Paimon, what's up?
You have a Fugi loading thing on your screen, do I? Oh. It's for the Discord call. Oh yeah, because I just closed Discord just now. Thanks for letting me know. What's up?
It's been a while, you two. Happy Lantern Rite.
Beidou! Yunshin! It's great to see you! You're here for the exhibition too?
Yes. When I heard these artifacts were from ancient times, I just knew I had to come learn more about them. I mean, what a discovery, right?
Yeah, Ningguang pretty much said the same thing. She thought coming here might help culture me up or something. But as you know, I'm more of a fists and punches type of person. I doubt one exhibition is gonna change that.
You're too modest, Captain. You're the leader of the Crux fleet. That takes far more skill than just fists and punches.
Plus, at the end of the day, you still decided to come, even though you didn't have to listen to Ningguang.
Real?
Well, she's the Tianquan. If she can't even get an average ship captain like me to do her bidding, how's that gonna look?
You sure know how to think from her perspective, huh?
I guess I do. Anyway, how's everyone enjoying the exhibition? I heard that if you see something you like, you can negotiate the price with the owner and take it home.
Blank.
Wait, so we can
Indeed. Although Shigu Antiques is hosting this exhibition, many of the items come from private collectors. As long as both parties reach an agreement, you can make an offer of Mora or an equivalent trade. Well, shall we continue our conversation as we look around?
Let's go! Paimon's super curious about all this stuff.
Browse at the exhibition. I mean, you say browse at the exhibition, but you don't let me interact with anything? Really? Okay, but an exhibition on a boat is pretty cool. Although, it's not that big, is it? Browse at the exhibition. Let's talk to Paimon.
Whoa! Look at this painting!
You can look, but you can't touch or bite.
Could it be?
Huh. This material is quite unusual. It doesn't look like paper. More like silk or some other kind of fabric.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Well spotted. This is a painting of Janju, the Moon Devourer, made primarily with mulberry silk. Such craftsmanship is rarely seen in modern-day Liyue.
Ha! Janju the Moon Devourer! Paimon knew it! That toad made it super obvious.
What's that? A new dish at Wanmin restaurant?
No! It's a kind of lunar eclipse. You heard about how the moon disappeared recently, right?
Oh, yeah. You're saying a toad did that?
That's what the legend says.
So, nothing to do with food then. Noted.
And the figure next to the toad. Is that the white horse Adeptus? From the stories I've heard, her palace lies on the moon.
That would seem to be a logical assumption.
Was this excavated from the chasm?
No. In fact, this item was discovered in Chenyu Vale, and many years ago at that.
Oh, so it's from Chenyu Vale?
Actually, that's not quite right. You see, this painting is primarily comprised of mineral-based pigments, such as cinnabar and azurite, which are usually found within stratified rock. This suggests its place of origin may very well have been the chasm.
You could have just started with that.
You're as knowledgeable as ever, Mr. Zhongli. I had only ever heard the legend of Janju the Moon Devourer, but now seeing it depicted in this painting, I wonder, if I purchased it, perhaps it could serve as inspiration for a new opera. Though I'm not quite sure who the painting belongs to right now.
A splendid idea, Miss Yoon. Perhaps in lieu of Mora, you could offer the lyrics to said opera as recompense.
The lyrics? But to whom?
To me?
Why, to me, of course. I am the owner of this painting, after all.
Call it.
Wait, so you're one of the private collectors of the exhibition? No wonder you knew so much about the painting.
But lyrics in exchange for a precious antique? My work could never possibly be of equal value.
I don't know about that. I'm not much of a scholar, but even I know your operas are in a league of their own.
An astute observation, Captain Beto. In my possession, this painting is nothing but a lifeless artifact. In your hands, however, it could be transformed into a new piece of art entirely. Quite the worthy exchange, no?
But I'm not sure when I'll be able to finish writing it. It certainly won't be ready this year.
Allow me to be equally forthright, Miss Yoon. This silk painting is merely a copy I made of the original work. There is no need for such concern over its value.
Huh? So it's a fake?
I had no idea you were such a skilled artist, Mr. Zhongli. I pride myself on having some knowledge of antiques, but I didn't notice anything that would point to it being a replica.
You never cease to amaze me, Mr. Zhongli.
You flatter me. All that said, Miss Yoon, you must accept, Truly, I insist.
Huh. He's gone from handing out fake Mora to fake paintings now, huh?
Your kindness is impossible to refuse, Mr. Zhongli. Rest assured, I'll be sure to return the favor.
I shall look forward to it.
Man, that was quite the find. Huh, I should buy something too, if only so I can show it off to Ningguang.
Let's keep going and see what we can find.
Wow, this bronze war chariot is really something.
It must have quite the story behind it. I've never seen anything like it before.
Do you know what this is, Zhongli?
Ah. I heard from Miss Linlong that a carriage made of Celadon jade was unearthed in the chasm. A copper canopy, a body adorned with flowing clouds and geometric patterns. Yes, this must be the one. A precious piece indeed.
This thing's gotta be thousands of years old, right? Crazy to think people back then were capable of such intricate metalwork.
Too often, we view the past and future through the lens of the present. Objects that fascinated us as children seem crude later in life. And that's only after a few decades or so of separation. If one were to stretch time across hundreds or thousands of years, one might discover that time is not always a force that pushes things forward.
It would seem the people of that era managed to create a remarkable civilization in their own right.
Hi,
Makes me wanna get my
Razmi.
hands on
Thank
this
you for
even
the
more.
raid.
Ningguang's gonna be so jealous, don't you think?
Let me shout you out. How was your stream? What are you playing? Minecraft? Me, EP? Yeah, you should go sleep. What time is it for you? Stream for 10 hours. Oh my god. Welcome, Raiders. My name is the Dark Knight. I just play games for fun. I don't really have much deep lore to me. But yeah, right now we're doing the Lantern Rite quest from Genshin. It's almost 4 a.m. Oh, then you're in the same time zone as me. I played Val, Minecraft, Val, also Minecraft. Oh my god. Well, get some sleep. You should sleep soon. Yeah, I will complete this quest and then we will see. So probably like maybe half an hour or something. Yeah, but feel free to raid and run, get some sleep, get some rest. 10 hours of stream. Did you eat in between?
Has this war
You must
chariot
be
caught your eye, Captain Beto?
super tired and maybe even hungry. So yeah, get some rest, get some food if you need, and bye-bye. I hope you get lots of free. Yes.
Oh, you must be Linlong from Shigo Antiques. Nice to meet you. This exhibition has been amazing so far.
I haven't eaten since. Oh my god, you should eat something before you sleep. Like anything, just. I don't know if you have bread, just put a slice of cheese in between 2 slices of bread and eat it or something. That's what I do when I'm like super tired and I have nothing, like I can't cook or go out to get some food. I just not to. How are you not hungry? It's been like almost 24 hours, 21 hours. It happens. Yeah, I think you should still eat something before you sleep though. But it's up to you. Thanks for the follow, B. How you doing? Let me shout you out too. Yeah, I think you should eat something before you sleep. You shouldn't go like 24 hours without eating. But yeah, get some food, get some sleep.
Well,
That's all thanks to supportive patrons like you and Mr.
Thanks for the
Zhongli, of
look.
course. As for this war
That's a
chariot,
nice
it was
emote.
discovered by an archaeological team sponsored by Hoishan Hall. The price comes in at 90 million mora.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you stream. It's okay.
How much?
Thanks for the follow. 90 million, Paimon.
90 million? Woo, looks like my eyes were a bit too big for my wallet.
Quite a bargain.
A bargain? 90 million more I could feed Paimon for like 1,000 years!
And if you actually went on an eating spree that long, perhaps you'd be considered an antique worth that kind of mora, too.
What, 90 million? Nuh-uh! Paimon's worth way more than that!
Well, if Mr. Zhongli thinks it's a good deal, I'm sure it's worth it.
Beto's putting way too much faith in Zhongli. What if he's only here to drive up sales?
I'll take the chariot, Miss Linlong. Someone will come by with the payment.
Quite the discerning eye you have, Captain. After the exhibition ends, I'll have someone deliver it to the Alcor.
Actually, could you send it straight to Yujing Terrace? I'd like for the Tianquan to see the proof of my discerning eye for herself.
Understood.
Great! Yunjin and I both found something. What about you three? Want to keep perusing?
Damn, Beto is rich though. Like, she just spent 90 million like that. Is it that profitable being a pirate captain? I mean, she's not really a pirate, I guess. She's like a mercenary captain, isn't she?
Don't worry about the Mora, it's all on me. Nobody's going home empty-handed tonight.
Bro, seriously?
I appreciate your kindness, Captain, but I'm afraid I have some private matters to discuss with Miss Linlong.
In that case, don't let us keep you, Mr. Zhongli.
Right this way.
Traveler, Paimon, perhaps you would like to accompany me.
And he has such a nice voice. I think his VA is Keith Silverstein.
What? So you can show us another bargain antique that's so far out of our price range it's not even funny?
Other people are always demanding Mr. Zhongli's time, but it's quite rare for him to extend an invitation himself. I wouldn't pass up this opportunity if I were you, Paimon.
Yeah, just don't forget to come aboard the Alcor for a drink later.
We should at least check it out.
Yeah, guess you're right. Taking a quick look isn't gonna cost us anything. Let's go!
Huh. Yeah, I can just walk all over everything. Okay, where? There you are.
These are all the jade pieces that were found, Mr. Zhongli.
Wow! So many styles! What kind are these?
These are a type of ceremonial jade. You're familiar with Chenyu Vale's rain jade, right, yes?
Sure.
Oh, yeah! So these pieces are all used in the rain jade ceremony?
Well, you may not know, Paimon, but before the rain jade rite came into practice, Chenyu Vale was known for a different ceremonial tradition that also involved jade. The bee is used to honor heaven, the Tsong to honor earth, the Gui to honor the east, the Jiang to honor the south, the Hu to honor the west, and the Huang to honor the north. These form the 6 ritual jades. It's unfortunate, however, that Miss Linlong's set is missing both the Gui and Hu pieces.
Oh, I know. These jade artifacts are from such an ancient time. It's proved difficult to track them down, even for our establishment.
No matter. You happen to have precisely the piece I was looking for.
Huh? This broken jade token? I didn't expect this to catch your eye, Mr. Zhongli. It isn't one of the 6 ritual jades.
Oh, welcome into Lunatic Wolf I think I missed your message when you came in with the raid. Thanks for the first time chat. What is it?
An affect belonging to an old acquaintance of mine.
An old acquaintance? One of your collector friends, Mr. Zhongli?
You could say that. Traveler, take a closer look.
It doesn't look all that special to Paimon. Just seems like a broken artifact.
There's a crescent moon.
Indeed. It's been thousands of years since the moon has appeared in such a form.
So, in the past, the moon wasn't always full. Then, could this missing chunk be from when Jeonju devoured part of the moon?
Wait.
It's worth looking into.
Is Tevat's moon always full? There's no phases of the moon? People don't know about the crescent moon symbolism? That's... okay.
Your insight is invaluable, Mr. Zhongli. I had no idea how special this piece was.
Wait, I need to Google this. Has it always been? How does this tie into like the false sky stuff? So interesting.
Since it has caught your interest, allow Shigu Antiques to cover the cost.
Wow, bro gets free antiques.
Oh, that is far too generous, Miss Linlang.
Not at all. I've always wanted to give people a chance to appreciate these snapshots of history. So holding an exhibition like this has been a lifetime wish of mine. And it never would have been possible without your help, Mr. Zhongli.
I merely put in a good word with a few acquaintances of mine.
And it had a profound impact. Without your recommendation, I doubt half of these collectors would have come to the exhibition. So, on both a personal and professional level, I owe you my thanks, Mr. Zhongli.
That's nice.
Wow! Zhongli actually did something useful for once.
Okay, don't be mean, Paimon. That's just mean. Oh, vision time? What just happened? How did I get here? That light ahead looks like it could be an exit. I should check it out. Ooh, I have my outfit again. Let's go. What if I go somewhere else?
3, 5, 7.
What do you mean 357?
11, 13, 17.
Are you? 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Prime numbers? Why are you listing
19,
primes?
23, 29.
31. Primes.
You also enjoy counting in such a fashion, lost child?
Wow, she's so pretty. Damn. Okay,
The same loneliness as them. It seems to exist in your heart as well.
who are you?
Me? I'm sorry, I don't remember.
What is this place?
The shadow of the moon? Or a dream of time?
Whoa. That would be trippy. This would make such a cool live wallpaper though.
I'm sorry. No one has asked me such things before. I've been here for so long. There is much I have forgotten.
Did you bring me here?
I know nothing of your arrival. All I know is the longing in people's hearts.
She's so pretty. Dude, I might have to pull for her. I wasn't planning on, but she's so pretty.
Yet, I sense the moonlight's guidance within you, child. Perhaps that is what brought you here.
The moonlight's guidance, does she mean Columbina?
You seem confused. Perhaps I can help in some way.
Lady, you can help me any way you want. How do I get out of here?
The path home is... that direction. I believe someone told me that before. But I was never able to reach the end. You should take a look.
How about we go together? Yes.
No need. It would seem... my time has already run out.
No. Don't leave me.
Farewell. May the moonlight ever shine upon you.
Dude, the way she said farewell, it was so sad.
Wow! Yangwei actually did something useful for once.
Ah. She was so gorgeous though.
Your complexion looks rather ashen, traveler. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, what's wrong? Does your stomach hurt?
I was just in the strangest place.
Huh? What are you talking about? You were right here the whole time.
Ah, I see. I'm afraid we must take our leave, Miss Linlang. My friend has taken ill and I must escort him to get some rest.
Of course.
Traveler, Paimon, please, come with me. Ah, yes. Regarding the payment for the Jade token. Charge the expense to the Wangsheng funeral parlor if you would.
Does it really work that way? Can you just get something and say, just charge my employer?
Guess someone's thinking of me. But this late at night?
Must be that consultant of yours. I bet he's out there spending all year more at the exhibition.
She's right.
Yeah, he'd be the perfect employee if he just knew how to rein in the spending. But never mind him. Let's focus on the moon. We gotta see if it gets eaten tonight.
This has like major shonen manga, or like slice of life manga vibes for like childhood friends out moon gazing, hoping that something happens. Like the moon is gonna get eaten.
I don't think it's going to happen. We've been out here all night and the moon's the same as ever.
It is quite late. and Chongyun's getting tired. How about we head back? We can come back another time.
Head back? Already? Actually, I do have a new dish I'm testing out tomorrow. And as part of my New Year's resolution, I'm trying not to oversleep. Alright, alright. Guess it just wasn't meant to be. Let's go. When the sun's out, bathe in sunlight. When the moon's out, bathe in moonlight.
Ooh. Really? None of you is gonna look back even once? Man, these scenes are like so... They would make amazing live wallpapers. I'll take a screenshot. What is that? Is there actually gonna be like Jansu, the moon devourer?
Aren't we going to rest? Why did you bring us here?
We'll have to fight some abyssal creatures or something.
Because I imagine the traveler would like to know what just happened to him.
Oh, right. Ugh, Paimon's confused, though. She could have sworn you were there the whole time. Oh, how is that possible?
It sounds like his spirit formed an inexplicable connection with the being in that space.
Was it the White Horse Adeptus?
Ah, you suspected from the beginning, didn't you? Indeed, the being you met is the fabled White Horse Adeptus, and the original owner of this jade token. Her name is Tbai.
Tbai.
Wait, does that mean she's inside this token?
No, she does not reside within this token, but rather within the moon's shadow. This token is merely a medium.
The moon's shadow, what do you mean?
Word has it you accomplished quite the feat in Nodcry. You and your friend brought the Frost Moon back to Tevat.
Are we gonna finally get Zhongli to tell us some juicy lore? Please? Please?
Tell me, did you ever wonder about the other moon? The one that hung in its place for thousands of years?
I did.
We never really thought about it, but it must have been a fake, right? A fake moon!
Indeed, it was false. Its true nature, nothing but a projection of the moon. It also happens to be the prison that confines Tbai to this day.
Wait, the White Horse Adeptus is trapped inside that projection? Then we need to rescue her!
Man, I know Paimon gets a lot of hate because of the way she yaps so much and she kind of speaks on behalf of the traveler. And of course, like, she had a really annoying voice for a while. I think they've tuned it a bit since the new VA came in. But dude, like, she's so pure. Look at that. The moment she learns someone is trapped, her first instinct is we need to rescue her.
But the moon in the sky right now is the real one, right? Where did the fake moon go? And why can't Paimon see it?
Great questions. I was actually just discussing this stuff with my friend after we completed the Luna 4 quest. When we bring back the real moon, we were like, what happened to the other moon? What happened to the projection? Stuff like that. I'm glad they didn't just, sweep that under the rug.
With the return of the true moon, the shadow naturally lost its place in the heavens. Now, it is disintegrating bit by bit. It's a process that comes and goes.
So is that what the the shadow in the moon looks like? Like the thing that we just saw? The donut. Is that because... maybe.
When it occurs, it looks like the moon is being obscured by a black shadow. But when it stops, the shadow disappears and becomes invisible to the eye.
So, you're saying there's an invisible fake moon blocking the real moon right now?
So the recent lunar eclipse, it was the fake moon, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Okay, this is not what Paimon was expecting.
You said it's disintegrating. When will there be nothing left?
My hypothesis is that people's wishes could be what trigger the periods of disintegration. After all, when you experienced that episode just now, it was precisely when Miss Linlong spoke of her own wish.
Wait, is that because the White Horse Adeptus answers people's wishes? The legend must be true then. So, that means the more wishes we make, the faster the fake moon will disintegrate, right? Then it won't be long before the White Horse Adeptus is free!
I'm not sure disintegrating her prison while she's in it is a surefire way of freeing her, Paimon.
Quite the contrary. After countless years trapped inside, the two have merged into one. When the moon shadow is gone,
Yeah,
Zibai
I
will
thought so.
cease to exist in this world.
I thought that would be the case.
Oh no! So, by bringing the moon back, we actually hurt the White Horse Adeptus?
Ah.
Do not burden yourself with such thoughts. Because of your actions, a promising opportunity has presented itself to us. Let us not forget, what is crumbling is also precisely that which imprisons her.
So there's still a way to fix this.
Yes, and that is why I invited you here tonight. Your connection to that broken jade token confirms that you can do what I envision.
I mean, it was pretty suspicious the way he told us to go and grab it. Right? Like it was just you don't just tell someone to just, hey, go and grab that antique thingy that is probably brittle. Let me see. How's the match? Oh, Giant X just won. Great. Wait, it was Giant X versus Heretics, right? So, oh my god, Heretics lost? Oh my god, so Heretics lost 2 games. They have one last try in the lower bracket. Same for Team Liquid.
However, while I had hoped to receive your assistance, this matter could have significant ramifications. I must admit a certain reluctance to implicate you in more of Tevat's secrets. Often, the deeper one's knowledge of such matters, the harder it becomes to extricate oneself from them.
Nah, bro, give it to me. Give me all the secrets. That's why I'm playing this game. I want all the lore.
You are someone who once traveled through the boundless sea of stars. I cannot help but wonder, perhaps it is wrong for your fate to become too entangled with the fate of any one world.
I already know a bunch of secrets. I'm already deeply connected to Tevat.
Such is your conviction, then. Since journeying beyond Lille, you have had ample time to reflect on these matters, it would seem.
Yes, so tell me what I need to do.
Very well. The first secret I must reveal is that Zibai has long since passed away. The being within the Shadow Moon is merely one of the 3 deadly selves she severed before her death.
Okay.
Wait, the White Horse Adeptus is dead? Weren't you supposed to tell us how to fix this? Now it just seems even more impossible.
Nah, trust in Zhongli.
Please remain calm, Paimon, and allow me to explain. The 3 deadly selves is a practice used by those engaged in spiritual cultivation. The intent is to sever the 3 vice-laden mortal selves to reveal one's true, pure self beneath. However, Zibai's 3 selves are more complicated in nature. Because in the moment before her death, someone preserved the shattered essence of her soul and placed the fragments within her 3 deadly selves. If we retrieve the 3 fragments of her soul, there is a chance we can restore her presence in the mortal realm.
So that means we can bring her back to life?
Yes, provided we retrieve the fragments of her soul's essence from the 3 deadly selves.
I'm guessing I just met one of them.
Indeed. The being you encountered was Zibai's first deadly self, Ziju. After Zibai's death, she ascended to the heavens and became one with the Shadow Moon.
Shadow Moon
The
is a
essence that
cool
resides
name.
within her is a heavenly soul, also known as Taiguang. Thus,
so
this self is the
gorgeous.
closest to Zibai's true nature. That said, because she is trapped within the Shadow Moon, we have no choice but to seek out the other 2 soul essences first. Then we can unite them as one.
Okay, so where are the other 2?
Her second deadly self is called Ziju. After Zibai's death, she fell into a slumber deep beneath the earth in what is now known as the Chasm.
Uh-huh.
The essence within her is the Earth Soul, also known as Shuangling. She is the self that inherited most of Zibai's memories and wisdom.
The chasm? So, do we have to go there to find her?
That won't be necessary. I sensed her presence on the jade carriage from earlier, the one at the exhibition. It's possible the return of the Frost Moon awakened her, and she emerged from the chasm alongside that batch of ancient artifacts.
Okay.
Wait, that must be why you agreed to help with the exhibition! To investigate the artifacts!
Indeed. So in truth, Miss Linlong was the one who helped me.
What about the last deadly self?
The third deadly self is Zichao. The essence within her is the human soul, also known as Yojing, Zibai's shade. Thus she is the most free-spirited among the 3. She lent me her aid during the Archon War, 1,000 years ago. But later, as her powers waned, she retreated into the mountains.
Uh-huh.
I imagine finding Zichao should prove the most troublesome, so I shall take it upon myself to track her down.
Is it really troublesome for you, though? Like, you're freaking Rex Lapis. You rescued Xiao when he was like, I don't know, in some alternate dimension, like falling into the void and stuff. And you can't find this one person.
So, we need to find the second deadly self, right? But where do we even start?
Locating her should not prove difficult. In life, Zibai was fond of mortals, and as the self who inherited most of her memories and wisdom, Ziju should be the same. It's possible she has possessed someone, and is meandering the bustling streets of Liyue Harbor as we speak.
Could it be the rowdy customer from before? I was acting weird. But Why was she so, like, agitated?
Possess someone? Wait. Are you thinking what Paimon's thinking, Traveler?
The customer who caused the scene at Wanmin restaurant. That's what I was thinking.
What if she raided a tomb and dug up some super special relic, then got herself haunted by an ancient ghost?
Okay, I think it's too obvious she's a red herring. I don't think it's gonna be her. Or maybe it is. Maybe they just want it to be funny.
Lu Xiangxiang!
It seems you have a lead in mind already.
She'd still be at Boo Boo Pharmacy. She was super agitated when she first got there, so Baishu gave her some calming medicine and told us to come back in 2 days. Do you think it could be hers?
It's quite possible. The deadly selves are impure beings that can easily influence mortal minds.
Let's start our investigation there in 2 days.
A sound plan. Well, I should get started on my own investigation then.
You're leaving already?
I must. Zhao went into hiding after the Archon War. If I am to have any success tracking her down, then there's no guarantee. I should start sooner rather than later.
But there's still so much you haven't told us. Like, who the White Horse Adeptus actually is, and how she died in the first place. Not to mention who it was that preserved the fragments of her soul.
Should our endeavor prove successful, then naturally those answers will follow. If not, speaking of them would be rather meaningless.
Alright then, keep your secrets. The one who preserved her soul's essence, was it you?
It would seem that this is a question you are unwilling to set aside. Very well. I shall tell you. It was the Avatar of Time.
Ooh.
Ah, so you know of her existence.
The ruler of time saved her soul.
Indeed. Preserving what remained of Zibai's soul in the moment before her death. Only the power of time could be capable of such a thing.
Man, I'm surprised Chongli is even talking about the shades.
However, there is no telling what effect it has had on the 3 deadly selves. In other words, you must exercise caution when seeking out Ziji.
How much time do we have? I imagine with Lantern Rite coming up, everyone's going to be making wishes. And the more wishes people make, the faster the Shadow Moon disintegrates. So, we probably need to do this before Lantern Rite.
On the night of Lantern Rite, countless Shao lanterns and the wishes written upon them will be released into the sky. I estimate that this event will trigger the Shadow Moon's collapse. When that happens, the cage that confines the first deadly self will open. That is our moment to act, but also the moment where all could be lost. For if we fail to retrieve the other 2 soul fragments in time, Zibai's resurrection is hopeless.
Understood.
As I mentioned before, the answers to your remaining questions should come in time, providing our efforts bear fruit. Let us hope that all proceeds smoothly in the days to come.
Yes. Man, I hate that we need to wait for the quests. I would have binged the entire thing today. But honestly, like, the premise of this Lantern Rite quest is pretty good. It's not just, you know, go around helping people, celebrate a festival, help them make their lanterns and stuff. Like, it's more serious than that, and it relates directly to what just happened in the Archon quest in this patch. With us, you know, saving Columbina and bringing down the Frost Moon. Really cool.
Surge. Defensive mode engaged. Leave this place.
never been here. Wait, what? Oh, that's Nefa's field. Dude, have I really never been to that place? Nah, surely I've been here, right? Yeah, I think there was like an Oculus or something here. Or like a treasure chest. It's been so long since I've explored Liyue. Should we do the events or should I end the stream? Or we could... The other option I have is... I'm still backlogged in Wuwa. I haven't done the Bornye quest. So we could do that. How long is it? I think it's like 2 hours-ish. And I only did like 15 minutes of it. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do it tonight. I mean, it's almost morning for me, so... Yeah, I'll probably just end the stream here. Yeah, I think I'll end stream here. I should try to get some sleep. Try to fix my sleep schedule just a little bit. Man, when is this? Okay, 16 days, that's fine. And when are the banners changing? 4 days. Man, I gotta pull Z-Buy now. Oh, they lined up the last part of the quest with... Ah, I see. That's clever. I was wondering why the Lantern Rite quest started now when Z-Buy isn't even on the banner, but then they want her to be on the banner when the quest ends with like the crescendo, with the climax where she flies through the air in her chariot and stuff. I don't really know what's gonna happen, but something like that happens in the trailer, so yeah. Remember that old man at the beginning, he said, like, oh, white horse, Adeptus, show your presence or something. So I think that's what's gonna happen. She's gonna show herself in front of everyone at Liyue Harbor. Max SP increase. Damn. Just such a pretty weapon, but I never pull on the weapon banner because it's a scam. I have literally never pulled on the Genshin weapon banner. In how long has it been? Like 5? I started playing in like Feb 2021. So it's going to be like 5 years that I've been playing Genshin soon. And I've never once pulled on the weapon banner. Okay, yeah, I think I'll... What is that glowing thing there? Is it just a fire? Yeah. is this place? Give me a small character. Oh, I forgot I got her this thing, the Echo. I haven't really played her since I got the Echo. Honestly, I feel like these Echo thingies is just something they added because they wanted to add something new. They don't really look that great, to be honest. And I didn't get hers yet. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll probably end there. Should I do the events though before I end? I imagine they will also have this. This is the quest series. This is the drop from the new boss, right? I feel like the boss in this quest is gonna end up being this, like a version of this boss fight. Festive shopping.
If you're not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk?
Nahida is so adorable, man. Pinchy. I'm the god of fortune, I'm the god of fortune, I'm the god of fortune, and you are? I'm the god of fortune. I can tell. That's a very auspicious outfit. Huh? Isn't this the traveler? Goodness. If I'd known you were the one coming, I wouldn't have to memorize so many lines. And given the looks of you, I presume that you're here to celebrate Lantern Rite. It's about time you showed up. Look around. It's even more lively than last year's Lantern Rite, isn't it? Every Lantern Rite feels more impressive than the year before. Of course, you know what they say. Shall lanterns soar and fill the night? Step by step we seek new heights. We've got to improve in everything we do. Ah yeah, let's not dwell on that during the festivities. Come, come, let me show you where the fun happens. Let me think. Got it. First things first, you have to release Shao Lanterns. That's Lantern Rite after all. And then we also set up a bunch of auspicious treasure trees around Liyue Harbor. As long as you prune their branches properly, the fortune coins inside are yours. How many trees did we put out again? Was it 21? Yes, 21 trees. 21 trees. Actually, there's an auspicious treasure tree not too far away. If you're interested, you can have prune it. Don't worry, it's very simple. And finally, you can also check out the bulletin board. It's right beside me. Many tourists from other nations have joined us for Lantern Rite in the recent years, so the Ministry of Civil Affairs prepared a special bulletin board for them. Whatever issues they run into, or if there's anything they need help with, they can write it down and post it on the bulletin board. We at the Ministry of Civil Affairs will make sure everyone who comes to Liyue for Lantern Rite leaves with a smile. Haha. That's the Ministry of Civil Affairs for you. That's Liyue for you. Of course. By the way, traveler, I remember you're really good at taking pictures, aren't you? I know a little. Don't be so modest. I just wanted to ask you for a little favor. It's really simple, I promise. All you have to do is take a commemorative photo for some tourists. We originally hired a few photographers to take commemorative photos for everyone, but we didn't expect that there would be so many tourists this year. There suddenly weren't enough photographers to go around. It's too late to hire new photographers. You're the only one I can count on. Please, for the tourists, for Lantern Rite, for Liyue, you're the only one who can help us. Leave it to me for Lantern Rite. You're a lifesaver, traveler. I'll tell you the tourists' names and the designated locations right away. I'm counting on you. With your help, this year's Lantern Rite will be flawless. Here, these shell lanterns are for you. Happy Lantern Rite. When a traveler is in their own world, they can receive celebratory shell lanterns released by other travelers in their respective worlds. Similarly, a traveler in their own world can be claimed by other worlds. Traveler who reaches them will also receive likes. Gift their companions various pleasures. Okay. Huh. Interesting. I badge now, Dork. Hello, Pandogo. Let me shout you out, although I think everyone is basically in bed by now. I don't think anyone's awake. But yeah, thanks for dropping by with the raid. I'll probably end stream. I don't think I'll be raiding because I don't think there's anyone active in my chat aside from you right now. So yeah, I'm just going through this new event stuff and then we'll probably end in like 10 minutes or so. But yes, go to bed. Good night. Let me tuck you in. Night night. Good night. Sleep well. Design new green. Wait, this is from last year, isn't it? Wishing cute. Wishing my good health. Wishing. Wishing Hydro good health. Wishing may all go well for. And happy birthday. Sending excellent. Fortune or something. Great Janju. Is this gonna be an actually important person? Wishing may all go well for you and sending good fortune to you. That's nice. Release a lantern.
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
It's not bad. Happy lantern, right? Cute you. At the same time, send shiny rocks to you. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Pleased to have met beautiful you. So hoping to spend the lantern night with you. Oh, that's cute. Wow. Can I collect like all of them? Did they all get like a like or whatever?
All from my time with the Crux.
I'm gonna favorite them all. I'm gonna be a nice person. Okay, that's the same message as the other one, but okay. Sending shiny rocks is funny. Where are these pruning trees? These two menus open. Okay, this is the same one. Suki. Okay, I think I'll end stream there. Happy lantern, right, friends? At the same time, intelligent you. What do you mean, intelligent you? I'm still favoriting them all because it's cute. Why does everyone use this default one though? Okay, yeah, I'll end stream there. What is this? Is it one of the mini games? Oh, it's to go back to the exhibition. Yeah, I think I'll end stream there. Good night, everyone, or good time zone, wherever you are. If it's morning for you, have a great morning. It's probably not morning for anyone, right? Wait, unless you're, yeah, if you're in like Australia or New Zealand, or yeah, it's probably morning for you already. So yeah, good morning. Hope you have a great Saturday. If it's the night for you, like it is for me, I mean, it's pretty much morning already. It's almost 5 a.m. But yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep. Good night. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the raid, Razmi. Thanks for the follows. I think B followed us today. Thanks for all the daily check-ins. And yeah, good night. Good night, bye bye.